Hi guys, Mandy here. I'm back with a book recap for you. I've been reading as much as I can lately, which has been hard because of March break and all that craziness. And I really need to read when it's quiet and like no one is bugging me because I find that it's just like so many things. But the minute you sit down with a book to read is when everybody needs you, the shit hits the fan. And so to have the best possible outcome, I like to read when there's no one here. So it has been crazy hard trying to read over the March break, but I have got some books in my belt and I'm going to share them with you. I want to start off with I just recently started reading graphic novels. I've never been a fan of comic books, and that's what I always thought a graphic novel was. In a way, it is, but seriously, when my little guy, when we were trying to get him to read, I used to get comic books like and the characters that he liked, and oh my gosh, it irked me so much when you'd read a strip or two and then it would be done and then you'd have to wait and have to try to remember to go and get the next, like, oh, it just drove me insane. So I kind of never, I'm not the fan of that, but graphic novels are different in a way. The ones that I've read so far, this is a middle grade graphic novel. It was so cute, really great, and I actually passed it on to Emma, who said to me after she read it, she was like, you know what? I think it was kind of saying, I think that the main character was actually like transgender, and that's why he liked the stuff he liked, and and people weren't accepting of him at first. And I was like, I think you're right. So how cool is that? You can spark imagination and spark topics of awareness in a graphic novel. So this is The Witch Boy, and it was about a town of witches. And in this town, the women are taught to be witches, and the men, and so they're learning magic and spells and all that goes along with that. And the men and the boys are taught a different kind of magic. They are taught to shape shift, to listen to their body, find their spirit animal, and then learn all about that. Well, the Aster, who is the main character, he's never felt like he wants to be a shapeshifter. He's never felt like he wanted to partake in that lifestyle, but he has always loved spells, and he's always sneaking around and trying to listen in on the girls' classes when they are learning their spells, which gets backlash from the boys making fun of him, saying, hey, that's spells are for girls, and from his mom saying, you're supposed to be doing what your father's done, what everybody else has done. But then something crazy happens in this town, and they need his help. And it's a really great book, a really cute, quick read, and I really liked it. And it has a powerful message, so that was good. And then, I don't know, I just grabbed this book, which very similar LGBTQ kind of community book. This is The Prince and the Dressmaker. I love this book so much. Again, a very quick read. Beautiful pictures, simple but gorgeous storytelling. And I think that kind of is what draws me into the graphic novels. I just love looking at the pictures. It's fun because you know how when you're a kid and you start reading, you read picture books and you love the pictures, and then you move on to novels. And some kids' novels have like a couple cute little black and white illustrations, but and I've always loved using my imagination. When I read, I see it all, but it's still fun to go back to basics and like have it all come to life by an illustrator. So this was, if that makes sense, this was really good. A prince who likes to wear dresses, and he meets a young designer, and he kind of commissions her to make dresses for him. He doesn't want anybody to know. He has a secret identity. He calls himself a different name when he's in dresses. No one knows that that's the prince but her. And his bodyguard. It was just beautiful. Coming of age story of acceptance. Oh my gosh, the end in the king. I'll just say that it was a really great book. I loved it, and my daughter read it as well. It was so awesome to, I try to teach her acceptance as much as I can, but I honestly don't know anybody who does like to wear dresses or, who is transgender or anything like that. So it's kind of hard to have examples of that. Like I teach her, you love everyone no matter what, but it's awesome to have a book to spark a conversation. And this was very much so. We talked about how, it's okay. You want to wear a dress and you're a boy, you wear a dress. If you're a girl and you feel like you're a boy and you want to dress like a boy and you want to do that, like we've slowly talked about that. And I think it's great to have a book to start a conversation. So that was great too. Then I picked up this. This is The Girl from the Other Side. This is book 1, so this is a series. The other 2 were standalones as far as I know. So there will be more to come. Actually, there is more to come. I'm always late to the party with books, and doesn't fail with this either. This has been around for a bit, and there's a few books in the series. So I have to grab book 2 and 3, and I think 4 is coming out, and 5 will be out this summer, I think. But it was a very cute, a little dark, but light read about this town, a small town, that there has been a curse put on it in a way. And if the cursed, there's these evil dark creatures, and if they, actually there's a very beautiful, I love this picture, and if they touch you, you will turn into a darkness creature too. That's the curse. So everybody has fled this town except for this small child and one of the creatures who is taking care of her. And so this kind of is about how I don't know where my mind was going there. I think book 2 is going to explain like how and why she was left there, and how this man teacher, as she calls him, has become her guardian. You don't really get a lot of that. You just kind of get the gist of what's happening. So yeah, I won't say too much more because it's just a short little read, but great pictures. And yeah, so I wasn't sure about it, but then at the ending I was like, gosh darn it. Well, and now I need book 2. So, another middle grade book that I did start this with my kids a while ago. Emma lost interest in it, and that's just because she has a million books on the go. And I think me trying to get her to stop reading what she was reading at night so we could read this together was infuriating to her. So she is going to read this when she's finished. Whatever, she's got like 3 or 4 books on the go right now. But Wizards of Once, oh my goodness. This is by the same author who writes How to Train Your Dragon, which I did not know. My kids, when the movie started coming out, I think Emma was super, super small, and when we watched the first one, but we loved it. Excuse me. It's a favorite movie of our family. And it wasn't until like the cartoon came out, I think I remember seeing based on the books. And I was like, what? It's a book series? So maybe I'm hoping that when Tristan starts really reading that we can get into that series together. But this book was a whole new ball game. This is a town again, a village, and there are wizards and there are witches. They both feud. The wizards don't, or no, the wizards wizards and warriors. The warriors don't like the wizards. They don't want magic. They're trying to ban it. So they take any magic creature they can, they take and they put in the dungeons. There's an evil queen, like she wants magic to be ridden, which once I got to the end of the book, I think I know why. Her daughter's name is Wish, and she is a warrior, and she stumbles upon Czar, who is a wizard, and they kind of hate, love, I wouldn't say love, but at first they're like, but then they get put into a situation, and they have to learn to trust each other, and it's just a really cute, really great read. It is going to be a series. I can't wait for book 2. I'm not sure when that's coming out, but definitely one for your littles, one for you. You will enjoy it too. So before I before I move on to my recap of Shadow Song, I'm going to share with you something else I found recently, and I'm so excited about this. I got this off of Etsy, a little Inklings. I have bought in bookmarks. It's so hard when your brain loses the word that was on the tip of your tongue and you can like feel it flying around and like bookmark, like hello. Anyways, I've gotten adorable bookmarks from her before, and apparently she came out with a really cute a bookish calendar, date planner, and I missed out on that, but then she had pre-orders for a novel companion, and I was like so intrigued. So I looked into it and I put my name down, and I was so lucky enough to have one. And I do believe that she is going to have more available. So make sure you check out her Little Inklings on Etsy to find out when she's going to release the next batch, because she does have another batch. So this is awesome. So this is a place where you can write about the books you've read. You can write about books you'd like to read. I have my list going already of books that I have on my to be read shelf that I really like to read, like ASAP. So there's places for that. There's a lot of space for books to read, which is good because I always have a million. This is so cute. There's must-see movies, TV shows to binge watch. I'm so excited to fill this out because you know what I'm excited about? I have a little book dragon, and I'm so excited I don't want to cry. I'm a mom. I'm so excited to fill this out and for her to one day pick it up and look through it and be like, oh my gosh, my mom liked this book. Maybe I should read it and like it. Oh, she really enjoyed Stranger Things. Like, she's too young to watch that now. But, oh, maybe I should watch that. It, like, excites me to think I'm going to leave this for her and she will perhaps pick it up and have that experience one day. There's a whole section for favorite quotes, which I have a million. I just started to fill this out. I filled it out with, we saw A Wrinkle in Time. We watched the movie. We read the book, obviously. And Oprah has a quote, which I do not believe is in the book, but Oprah says, do you realize how many events, choices that had to occur since the birth of the universe leading up to the making of you, just exactly the way you are? I just bawled in the theater, which, of course, if you are one of my children, is really everyday occurrence for me. How beautiful is that? Especially today when there's so much bullying, so about appearance, about weight, about your lifestyle, whether you're wearing designer clothes or whatever. Kids just have it seems to get tougher and tougher every decade, every time. And I just thought that was so beautiful. When you hear somebody just say, put you down all the time, and to have somebody tell you the universe has come together for you to be here is just, sorry. Anyway, so there's a spot for your favorite quotes. There are beautiful colored pictures with her own quotes that she's pulled out of a goal section, which I think will be good to fill out. Then there is also important dates to remember. There's lots of stuff. Then I will show you, lastly, book reviews. So you actually have the ability to fill out the book that you've read, rate it, put the author, when you finish reading it, a little blurb about how you liked it. There's book hauls, places for you to write your book hauls. There's also a calendar section to fill out if you are a person who, well, you could use it both ways. You could fill it out as a daily calendar, or you could fill it out as a person who is in Bookstagram and is like, oh, Friday, March 15th, that's when they want us to put the pictures of candles up. Like, there's lots of photo cues you can find online. Anyways, I thought it was super cute. Sorry for being overdramatic, crazy person. I turned my phone on silent and my mom keeps messaging me. It's nothing. She just wants a coffee, which is fine. I'll bring her a coffee, but it's not the end of the world, Mom. Chill out. So, yum, yum, yum. Okay. Shadow Song. I saved this to last because I am going to talk a little bit about book 1. And if you haven't read it and you are going to read it, I don't think this is a huge spoiler, but I am going to say, that's my mother. Hold on.